Hi there, I'm Clifford Bates, and welcome once again to Reading Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. Today we're continuing in Book 8, today looking at Chapter 9, continuing the discussion of friendship. That's in Book 8 and 9, right? So let's go to it. Let's go stuck to it. Um, but it seems, as was said in the beginning, that both friendship and the just are concerned with the same matters and are present among the same persons. So he says all the way at the beginning that friendship and justice, right? He said that friendship and justice are concerned with the same matters and are present with the same person. For in every community, koinonia, something just seems to exist, and friendship as well. Again, remember, justice was the idea of reciprocal proportionalities of equity, right? That therefore every community requires equity in that sense. It requires some aspect of equity and reciprocity in that sense, right? And therefore, this is idea of without reciprocity, there is no community koinonia, he said. And therefore, there's friendship is reciprocity. Justice is therefore this is the reciprocity that therefore they exist in that sense. So in every community something just seems to exist, and friendship as well, right? At any rate, people address their shipmates and fellow soldiers as friends, just as those other communities do, just as those in other communities do. And to the extent that people share in community, that they share in the koinonia, there is friendship. Since to this extent, there is also what is just. This idea, okay, this is a very important point. That do you understand what the just is and the common good, the common advantage, which is the concern of what is justice. The just is the shared advantage of all those members of what is common, and therefore the equitable and reciprocal character of it. This is maybe proportional. That it may be proportional, but it's still reciprocal, and they're also equitable in that sense, right? That therefore that they benefit, and that this is what holds community together, and therefore this is what I think is a very important thing. They share in something, and therefore the sharing in something, the friendship is you share in the relationship. You in the community, you share in the community. You live together, and you have that in common. The life together, the shared life together, is the common thing in that sense, right? Um, since the extent that people share in community, there is friendship. Since to this extent, there is also what is just. The proverb, the things of friends are in common, right, is correct, since friendship resides in community, association, right? Koinonia. Uh, that's what friendship is. This is why friendship is the koinonia. Koinonia is this is why a discussion in book 3, no, book not book 3, in Aristotle's Politics, book 1, chapter 2, the discussion of koinonia. This is needed. This is why this and perhaps this is why we always argue that you need to read the ethics first to understand later the politics, because the discussion of in chapter 2 book 1 would be incomplete without an understanding of this. Okay. In other words, repeat the proverb that the things of friends are in common is correct, since friendship resides in koinonia. For brotherly and comrades, and brothers and comrades, all things are in common. They share the things in common. In that sense, not but by things in common does not mean communism. All things in common does not mean they share everything and therefore everything's the same. No, it's that they have a life together, and they have things together that they have in common. And much of what they have, all the things that they have, are something that they get from that they share together in that sense. Whereas for others, only certain definite things are in common, right? to a greater degree or a lesser degree. So therefore, in other words, for brothers and comrades, those people in the most extreme situations, the extreme intermediates in that sense, they have everything kind of in common. They share their things. Maybe they share their shirts. They share other things. That's in that sense. Um, but for other people, for others, whereas for others, only certain definite things are common, and common to a less greater or lesser degree. In the case of friendship as well, there is a greater and lesser koinonia. So in friendship, there is also the strengthening of the koinonia, the community of sharedness, is either greater or lesser to that degree. So that there's different the strengths of the friendship, the type of friendship, how close that is, versus maybe not so close, based on how much they shared together, how much is shared, how strongly is shared. The just things too differ, since these are not the same for parents in relation to children, and for brothers in relation to one another. In other words, what is just? What is just for parents? They're not the same for parents in relation to their children, and for the brothers in relation to one another, or for comrades, or for citizens. And similarly, in the other in the other friendships, or this fellowship. In other words, every friendship, every type of friendship, what is just, the the things that are just are different, will differ from each other, each relation. Each relation, the things that are just are not going to be identical. They will differ. They will differ from what? Parent to child, siblings to one another, from comrades, for comrades among each other, for citizens among each other, and similarly. The unjust things also differ in relation to each of them. And they increase the more they concern, in other words, and they increase the more they concern friends. For example, it is more terrible to steal money from a comrade than it is from a fellow citizen. Not to aid a brother than not to aid a stranger, and to strike a father as well as to strike a father than to strike anyone else. In other words, here that this concerns if what is just, what justice, what will differ amongst them, but also what just, in other words, the unjust doing injustice to them differs from others. An example of this is, well, it's worse, it's more terrible to steal money from a comrade or a friend than a fellow citizen, a stranger, or mere fellow citizen. It's worse. It's worse not to aid a brother than to aid a stranger. Not to aid a stranger. Okay, to strike or to strike a father than to strike. Yes, striking is bad, but it's worse to strike a father than striking someone else. It it is natural. Now this is interesting. It One manuscript reads, "What is just appears to increase together with friendship," right? But it is natural. Where is this line? It is natural. It is natural for what is just to increase together with friendship, on the grounds that justice and friendship are present among the same persons and are coextensive, right? This idea that it is natural for what is just to increase together with friendship. What now he says, he goes, what is just appears to increase. This is the difference. One minute. So it is natural for what is just. One manuscript has appears, but most don't. They increase together with friendship, on the grounds that justice and friendship are present among the same persons, and are coextensive, right? So therefore, there's the idea that it is natural for the just to increase to friendship. Because why? That justice and friendship are present among the same people, and are coextensive in that sense, right? That's what it's going to be in that sense. But all communities are like parts of the political community. But all communities are like parts of the political community. For people come together for a certain advantage, namely to provide some of the things conductive to life. So therefore, but all communities are like parts of a political community. For people come together for a certain advantage. They come together to what? Namely to provide things that are conduct life. And the political community seems to come together from the outset and to continue to exist for the sake of what is advantageous, what is beneficial, right? What is beneficial. Lawgivers aim at this and claim that advantage, at benefit, held in common is what is just. Okay, this is that line. This is the therefore the purpose of the political community comes together is what is advantageous, what is beneficial, and that the claim that the advantage, the benefit that is held in common is just. The other communities then aim at a partial advantage. So therefore, the political community is the complete community. It's that complete community. It's the one where everyone gets that common that advantage for the sake of of the benefit to survive, the good life, the good, the good, the good life, right? The good life. Mere life is a necessary thing, but the good life is the aim towards it does, right? But the other communities then are partial. So therefore, the political seat comes together from the outset to what? For the whole, for all of the members. The other communities are here, right? Aim at a partial advantage, a specific advantage, maybe. For example, the sailors aim at the advantage of making money from sailing or some other thing. Soldiers at the advantage bound up with the war, right? Since they long for either money, victory, or a city. And similarly, too, in the case of members of the same tribe or district, they have benefit there. I'm a tribe, my tribe, or deme in our city, right, or district in the city, that I have an advantage. I want some benefit from this in that sense. I want a benefit. I want advantage in this, and I'm a part of this. That each group seeks in the specific community seeks some advantage or some benefit. The soldier, the sailor is the sailor is what he's concerned with making money with the sailing, right? Or such things. Or sailor is advantage bound up with war, right? And since they long from either money, victory, or a city, right? And the members of other the tribes or district, they want either some benefit or some good. But some communities seem to arise on account of pleasure. So there's another form of community. So this is how communities. Here is explaining the ways koinonia form. The highest form is this, but then there's other form for specific advantage. He's saying that the political community is the complete community that holds everything together. But the other communities are aiming towards some advantage, some specific advantage, some specific good or some specific thing. And that this specific thing may be localized and not the complete. Whereas the political community aims at the one that is the highest for that group. That these are part of this. And as part of this, this is the complete one. This aims at the advantage of the whole. This is the advantage of the whole, that all share in it. Whereas the advantage is the thing that they aim at. And that this is part of that, but the advantage the advantage that it does is aim more locally in that sense, or more specifically, or more particularly, right? But some communities seem to arise on account of pleasure. This is another one, like communities, the Bacchus revelers and members of a dinner club. For these exist for the sake of performing a sacrifice, and of getting together with others. So there's another a community that comes together for the sake of pleasure. Here are the Baltic revelers, singing and drinking and singing and praising of the gods, and then also the dinner club, the meet, enjoy dinners and speeches and things like this. Again, these are what? These are they exist to performing sacrifices and getting together with others, right? Symposiums, right? But all of these seem to fall under the political community. So all these other inferior communities fall. For the political community aims not at present advantage, but at the pertaining to life as a whole, since those engaged in political life perform sacrifices and host gatherings concerning them, thereby distributing honors to the gods and providing a pleasant rest for themselves. Now 37. The text here appears to be corrupt. Black were their brackets, and some editors considers interpolation, but some communities gathering together with others, since a version of this claim is restated a few lines later. The textual difficulty is tied with the interpretive question: is it the city as a whole, as opposed to a partial community that obtains to the gods? No, I think it's to the city as a whole. The city as a whole pertains to God. In other words, even though a group is doing it, it's doing it for the sake of the city as a whole. One group may do it's get division of labor, right? Division of labor in that sense. Does the city as a whole seeks it? This group may perform and do that on behalf of the whole, right? For the ancient sacrifices and gathering appear to take place after the harvest. For example, the first fruits, because people used to have leisure, especially in these seasons. All communities, therefore, appear to be parts. All communities, therefore, koinoias in that sense, the inferior communities, right? Talking about a friend, therefore appear to be parts of political community, and the sort of friendships will correspond with the different sort of communities. So, in other words, he's saying this, that the subordinate communities are part of the political community. The political community is the community that deals with the whole. That the subordinate communities are these other communities are partial. They're aiming at some part. These other communities, these other lesser communities, or less. I use the word lesser because they're subordinated to this political community. The specific communities, we can call maybe. These are sorts of friendships too. In other words, in other words, the sorts of friendship would correspond to the type of community. So therefore, there is an association. In other words, it's the koinonia, the doing together, what is the thing of friendship. And the different communities will have different types of friendship. And therefore, even the political community, there'll be a type of friendship of citizens, right? This goes back to the idea of the friendship of citizens, those who are citizens, right? So we'll stop here. If we're going to have any questions, please put your questions here. Put your comments or questions or issues you have. I will respond to them when I see them. This leads us, if you like the chapter, hit the like button, please. It helps. Hit the like button, hit thumbs up it, because why? It helps the algorithm. Just please do it. If you liked it, hit it, like the like button. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you liked it, do share the video, share it on your social media, share it far and wide. Sharing helps the algorithm. And of course, introduce the chapter, introduce things. If you've not subscribed, again, subscribe, but encourage others to come see the channel, look at it out. Maybe they like what we're doing here. Maybe they like something we've done before. Encourage them to come check the channel out. It will help. Again, everything helps in that sense. But if you didn't like it, you can always thumbs down and say, "Oh, I didn't like it because of this." So, why? Say why in the comments, and that way people can learn something, benefit from it. Another thing you can do is, if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow my social media links there below. If you want to know more about me and my research and my scholarship and things like that, you can look at the social media, the academic social media links below the social media links. which will direct you towards that. Another thing you can do is you can want to help me to do what I do, you want to help contribute, you can do so through Patreon or Subscribestar. The links are below. Or what you can do is I list below my currently available books. You want to buy a book? Please do so. You can order it by your local bookstore, of course, but also you can order it through a online bookseller like Amazon, Barnes Noble, or the like, or through the publisher itself. Well, we end here. This ends chapter 8. Tomorrow we look at next time we look at chapter 10, which deals with it's called the mini politics, where he deals with the political communities, right? The constitutions, the mini politics. He gives us the type. He'll give us the famous. In fact, this is the only part of the political science that exists, that because the Aristotle's ethics is something that is known in the Arab world and things, and this is the only knowledge of Aristotle's politics will happen. So this is why what is discussed. It is the mini politics. We'll call it the chapter 10. It will be the mini politics. We'll stop there. Take care. Have a good day. See you. Bye bye.